This is, I think, one of the craziest theories I've ever heard in relation to Spider-Man No Way Home. And the theory is that everything is going to be misdirection and that everything we've seen is misdirection. And it's probably true. So when it comes to Marvel Studios and their way of marketing, we know that they're far different from pretty much everybody else in Hollywood, especially Sony. Sony was always on the opposite side of Marvel Studios and Marvel. Marvel decides fake scenes, fake CG, fake things here. We're going to misdirect. We're going to pop in scenes that never existed. We're going to pop in dialogue that doesn't happen. We're going to put stuff on posters and release pictures of scenes that aren't there. At the same time, Sony's like, y'all like an entire movie on YouTube? Want to see the entire ending of Spider-Verse exclusively on IGN? Yeah, we released it as part of the marketing for the film and we wonder why it's not making box office. Also, the first 10 minutes of Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know, while we're at it, why don't we just tell them every twist in the movie in the marketing? Because what's the point of watching it? We gotta sell the movie.
What?
You get what I'm saying, right? But notice how Marvel Studios now, that they're financially, going to bed, so to say, with Sony over Spider-Man. Things are different. One theory that many people are now talking about is, how is Marvel Studios going to directly influence the marketing for Spider-Man? And one thing I've seen, and we kind of joke about this in our group, but I think it's something that's very valid. Everything might be a misdirect. Wouldn't that be something? Remember Spider-Man Far From Home, the early trailers and pictures, and then in the final product he's wearing a completely different suit, and a bunch of scenes weren't even there, and there was action sequences that they edited things out of, and, it was just all over the place. Now with Marvel Studios having a hand in it, doesn't it make sense that even more of it is going to happen, especially in films that are now fully affected and part of this multiverse, trying to subvert expectations and trying to maybe present itself as something completely different than what it is, and use that to their advantage to not overbuild hype. And sometimes the hype of something can make the final product be disappointing. And I know you all know what I'm saying. Sometimes you build yourself up so high for something that the end product literally cannot live up to it. Whether it's fan theories, your own theories, reports online, it's always how it happens. We saw it happen with Star Wars The Last Jedi, I think was the best example in recent memory. But also, talking about comic books, go back to Spider-Man 3. Like after Spider-Man 2, everybody, you can go back to old forums that are still up from like 2003 and 4 and look at what people were saying after Spider-Man 2 for Spider-Man 3 and some of the reports and Carnage and how all this is going to happen and Venom's going to look like this. And then the disappointment that hit after people built up this movie in their head that was not what was presented. Marvel Studios has largely done away with that by presenting films that seem like in the trailers that they're not what you're getting in the final film. And that's by not showing as much and by leaving a lot of the film to be discovered when you see the film. Therefore, the hype after it is surprising. I think I explained that right. I hope so, right? Like, if this was Sony, the first poster for the upcoming Spider-Man would have just said Spider-Verse, and it would list every single character in the film, and there would be 30 different people, all terribly photoshopped, and we would have got it literally when they started shooting this film, and we would all go, oh, boy, that's disappointing by the final end result, because we let it build up in our heads so far. And notice how Marvel Studios is not confirming everything or denying everything. They're playing a very careful game, and Sony is learning. They're learning from Papa Marvel.